The end game. Ferb raced back to Hub 42 and was ready to act. He arrived at the front entrance with the guards making confused faces. They expected Ferb to be dead. The Galaxy Mother came to the front to greet her own son. She was also annoyed with what he had caused. Hub 42 was a target to whoever wins the war between the Britannia remnants and the demonic army, due to its advanced technologies and the stretch of territory they would claim. Ferb explained his plan to use the terminal systems in Hub 42 to get into contact with the remnants and the demonic army. He would try to bring them to the center of the wasteland by claiming their enemy has made movements against each other. Ferb logged into the terminal and raised a satellite to get in touch with both factions. He was in. Screens were fuzzing and making static noises, and they came back to life with 42 on the screens. Ferb spoke. To the Britannia remnants and the army from hell, your enemy is moving against you. They have left to attack you already and will take the center of the wasteland. Take your strongest warriors and seize your enemy. If you do not want to see any more violence, then stay at your home. Keep your dynasty alive. Be smart about this. The wasteland is your reward. The screens cut to black, then glitched back to life. Lucius kept 20 soldiers at the factory as well as all of his workers. He took his demonic army and dressed them in heavy armor. Lucius even gave his favorite warrior specialist Mark 7 power armor, the upgraded variant to the Mark 4 power armor. The remnants kept 30 soldiers scattered across Cabot Kingdom, including the nuclear bunker. They knew to protect the bunker and the market. Those who went to battle took their armored vehicles, which was a great advantage, but they only wore thin clothing. No armor whatsoever. This was part of their ignorant ways of thinking they were immune to all damage. Ferb had to wait. He couldn't get into the nuclear bunker too early, otherwise it could accelerate the chaos. He had to wait for them to meet up in the middle, and it took up to 2 days. The Galaxy Mother asked Ferb about his backup plan. James arrived to tell the Galaxy Mother for him. James explained how he could detonate the nukes in their silo at Cabot Kingdom, wiping them out instantly. He could also overheat Hell's reactor, causing the same devastation. James and the Galaxy Mother were not happy, but James was willing to aid Ferb in launching the nukes at both armies in no man's land to take out the worst in both factions. Not ideal, but something had to be done. The days went by and the news broke out of both factions engaging in war. The battle was spectacular. The remnants used their armored vehicles as shields and launched grenades from the roofs. Lucius and his warrior in power armor charged forward, smashing the skulls of the redcoats in hiding. It was large and loud. Ferb was ready. He was hacking into the nuclear bunker with James checking for security details. It was going well until James found a firewall he couldn't get past. Over in the bunker, the scientists working the nukes saw warnings on every screen. They jumped into action and attempted to use them against the demonic army. Ferb was in full control of one of the 2 nukes. He could aim and launch if he wanted to. The second was proving to be a struggle, as the scientists at Cabot Kingdom were trying to retake control. After control of the second nuke changed multiple times, the scientists had enough and launched it. James and Ferb were panicking. Both nukes were launching, but the door to the second silo remained closed. Seconds later, the first nuke launched, soaring through the sky and arched towards the center of the wasteland. The second nuke launched, hit the roof of the silo. An explosion was heard all across the wasteland, soon followed by a bright mushroom cloud. James and Ferb looked at each other, then looked at the nuke charging towards the 2 factions raging on at each other. Hundreds of soldiers, people, only had a moment to realize they were doomed. So much happened at once.